The world's most daring escape artist, Elias Hawthorne, standing bound in heavy steel chains on the edge of a towering bridge. As a crowd gathers in awe, Elias narrates that while others try to escape their stressful lives, he has only ever tried to escape death itself. With one final breath, he plunges into the icy waters below. The story then shifts back 17 years. Elias arrives with his wife, Clara Hawthorne, at a rundown performance hall, where they are supposed to entertain the drunken patrons. Disgusted by the place, Elias wants to leave, but Clara reminds him that they are nearly broke. She confidently announces that her husband will escape a sealed trunk while handcuffed. Most people laugh it off, but one man mocks them, claiming their handcuffs are fake. Elias boldly replies that he'll wear any cuffs the audience provides. To his shock, the heckler reveals himself to be a police officer and tosses real cuffs at his feet. Nervous but determined, Elias turns away and quietly unlocks them using a hidden pick from his belt. The crowd erupts in respect. From that night forward, Elias's reputation begins spreading across America. He continues performing increasingly dangerous shows, slipping free from tighter locks and heavier chains. One evening, Clara admits she wants a normal life, but Elias refuses. He is obsessed with becoming the greatest escape artist who ever lived. The film then jumps further back to Elias's childhood. He and his brother Daniel Dan Hawthorne watch a traveling troupe perform an illusion act. Young Elias becomes instantly fascinated and dreams of becoming a magician. As time passes, he teaches himself simple tricks and brings home small earnings, delighting his mother but angering his strict father. Eventually, Elias leaves home with Dan to make a living on their own, performing on the streets to support their mother. Years later, during one of these performances, Elias sees a dancer named Clara and is mesmerized by her grace. After her act, he approaches her and asks if she would join him. She agrees, and the two quickly become partners, both on stage and off. Together, they travel the world, performing for prestigious audiences. Meanwhile, Dan tries to imitate Elias's tricks back home, which pushes Elias to create even more dangerous, uncopyable stunts. By 1798, Elias and Clara visit a well-known prison, asking the sheriff to lock Elias inside a cell. Outraged at their request, the sheriff refuses, until Elias mocks the prison's security and challenges him for a $100 bet. Furious, the sheriff agrees, believing Elias will fail. Before being locked up, Clara kisses Elias goodbye. The sheriff suspects she slipped him a tool but finds nothing. Once alone, Elias pulls out a metal key he had swallowed during the kiss. He escapes easily. Journalists go wild, and he becomes an overnight sensation. Challenges from fans pour in, urging him to escape increasingly secure prisons. He accepts one such challenge in Chicago in 1900. This time, the guards bind him with chains, muzzle him, and watch him closely. Yet within minutes, he escapes again, without a trace. Soon the world knows him as the chain breaker and the handcuff king. One day, while shopping for props, Elias meets Jonas Mercer, a skilled craftsman who claims to have engineered many escape devices. Elias is impressed, especially by Jonas's design for a water tank escape act. A few days later, Elias visits Jonas's workshop to test it. He climbs inside the water container and holds his breath impressively long, until the top panel jams. Jonas smashes the tank with an axe to rescue him. Later, the water tank act debuts on stage. To ensure safety, the chief of the fire department stands by with an axe. Elias is sealed inside, and minutes pass with no sign of movement. The chief steps forward to break the glass, but to the audience's shock, the chief removes his helmet and reveals himself to be Elias. The crowd explodes with applause. As Elias's fame grows, the U.S. Secret Service starts investigating him. Before anything escalates, he is approached by Sir Reginald Mercer, head of British intelligence. Reginald forges documents stating Elias was born in America in exchange for gathering information abroad. Elias first performs for the German Kaiser family, astonishing them with a dangerous bullet-catching trick. Afterwards, he meets Agent Rowan, Reginald's associate, and gives him sensitive intel. Rowan hands Elias a red book of Russian grammar, his next assignment. Elias and Clara then travel to Moscow, performing for a powerful Russian family. He plays a game where he promises to grant one written wish. The daughter selects a slip that reads, "Ring the Kremlin bell," a bell that hasn't sounded in a century. Yet Elias hands her a rope, and when she tugs it, the Kremlin bell rings thunderously. The family bows in disbelief, unaware that Jonas, positioned far away, shot the bell precisely on cue. Back in London, Elias gives Reginald the information he gathered. Reginald then orders him to infiltrate the German ambassador's residence. During a performance in Germany, Jonas announces that Elias has been locked inside a safe with only 10 minutes of air, while Elias secretly sneaks into the ambassador's office to steal documents. Unfortunately, the ambassador returns with a companion, forcing Elias to hide inside the very safe used in the act. When the ambassador locks it completely, Elias panics. He has never been trapped inside a real safe before. Drawing on every ounce of focus, he recalls each click of the locks and manages to open them just in time. When Jonas opens the safe on stage, it is filled with gifts for Clara's birthday. Meanwhile, Elias slips away to hand the stolen papers to Reginald. Clara is unimpressed by Elias's showy theatrics and confronts him, leading to a heated argument and Elias sleeping in the bathroom, the only place he can't escape from, as Jonas jokes. Later, Elias watches a Charlie Chaplin film but refuses to see Chaplin as competition until Jonas warns him that audiences might prefer newer entertainers. At home, Elias and Clara fight again about his dangerous stunts. Spotting a glass of ice, Elias becomes inspired and immerses himself in a bathtub full of freezing water to train for a new act. A few days later, he performs the frozen lake jump scene at the beginning of the movie. Though he escapes his chains underwater, he is swept beneath the ice. Disoriented, he imagines seeing his mother guiding him. Miraculously, he finds an opening and survives. Clara, furious and terrified, argues with him again. Elias apologizes and promises to avoid life-threatening stunts. His next show involves making an elephant vanish. After the act, Agent Rowan asks him to take on more missions. Elias hesitates, but Rowan insists that fans will embrace the International Mystery Tour. In 1914 at the Empire Theatre, the famous author Sir Aldrich Munro, inspired by Arthur Conan Doyle, watches Elias walk straight through a brick wall. After the show, Aldrich congratulates him. But Jonas arrives with a telegram. Daniel, Elias's brother, reports their mother has died. Elias collapses in grief. At the funeral, Jonas asks if Elias can contact his mother using his supposed supernatural abilities. Elias confesses the performance was a trick, he has no real powers. Devastated by his loss, Elias becomes obsessed with spiritualism, trying to contact real mediums. All of them turn out to be frauds, and in anger he exposes them publicly, even publishing a book denouncing their scams. One day, Elias meets Aldrich Munro and Aldrich's wife, Lady Evelyn, who claims to be a genuine medium. She invites Elias to a private séance. Meanwhile, a street fortune-teller reads his palm and warns that he will die soon. During the séance, Lady Evelyn writes messages she claims come from Elias's mother. Elias appears grateful, until he reads them later and realizes they are fake. His mother never spoke English, and the handwriting is unmistakably Evelyn's. He exposes the couple in radio broadcasts and newspapers, offering $25,000 to anyone who can genuinely contact his mother. In 1926, Elias visits Boston to confront a famous medium named Madame Seraphine, who performs dramatic table-tilting seances. Elias debunks her tricks easily. Furious, Seraphine later visits his hotel room and tries to seduce him. Rejected, she warns him that his death is near. During his next performance in Detroit, Elias injures his ankle during the water tank escape but refuses to cancel upcoming shows. Afterward, while greeting fans, a man furious about Elias's attacks on spiritualists punches him hard in the stomach. Elias ignores the pain and goes on stage again that night, but collapses mid-performance. At the hospital, doctors discover his appendix has ruptured and warn him he may not survive. News spreads instantly. Clara receives heartfelt letters from fans, making her realize how deeply Elias touched the world. Elias dies at age 52, imagining his mother's face as a nurse tends to him. The world mourns the loss of the legendary escape artist. The film ends with Reverend Carlton Ford, a spiritualist preacher, inviting Clara to a séance, hoping to reach Elias's spirit.